Nestled in Adams, Tennessee, the Bell Witch Cave tells a tale that's been giving people the shivers for a long, long time. Imagine a family, the Bells, who, between 1817 and 1824, experienced a series of peculiar events, leaving everyone uncertain about the reasons behind them. Some say it was a ghost, others think it was a neighbor's curse, and some even say the neighbor was the witch herself. Even after John Bell, the head of the family, passed away, the haunting continued, and today, descendants claim they're still cursed. While the Bells no longer possess the farm, rumors persist about the haunting of the nearby Bell Witch Cave, where eerie occurrences continue to unsettle locals. In 1817, the Bell family experienced strange and dangerous events that lasted for years. The story revolves around John Bell, a well-respected farmer living in Adams, Tennessee. One day, while walking in his cornfield, Bell saw a weird animal. Thinking it was a scavenging dog, he shot at it. This event marked the beginning of a series of mysterious happenings for the Bell family. The Bell family soon realized they were dealing with something beyond the ordinary. This mysterious entity seemed to have a particular interest in John Bell and his daughter Betsy. The entity, later identified as the Bell Witch, began communicating with the family. It could mimic voices, speak different languages, and even recite sermons and songs. This seemingly innocuous event is claimed to have inaugurated a strange series of events that would forever change the Bell family. After the dog creature, other peculiar animals were sighted around the Bell's land, including an enormous odd-looking bird and a large black hound. Such strange phenomena became more frequent until one day something knocked on the Bell's home. Something is an apt word, for despite the family's investigations, no person or animal was deemed to be the culprit, with the knocks being heard on the door and walls of the farmhouse. An air of peculiarity enveloped the house, commencing within the quarters of the bellboys. Reports surfaced of unsettling sounds: rats gnawing on bedposts, dogs engaged in fighting, and chains dragging across the floor. Curiously, whenever a candle was lit for investigation, the mysterious noises promptly stopped. As the auditory phenomena intensified, the happenings evolved. Although all in the family claimed to have experienced the strange occurrences, much seemed to center on John Bell. He is said to have been afflicted by a strange illness of the mouth, making it difficult to talk and eat. John Bell pressed his family not to divulge any of the strange occurrences to anyone else, fearing that it could scandalize their name and lead to accusations of witchcraft. For over a year, the events continued, with the Bells keeping them a secret, hoping they would eventually cease. After a year, the phenomena became unbearable, and John Bell laid the matter before his trusted neighbor, James Johnson, to help ascertain the cause. Bell invited Johnson and his family to spend the night in his house. That night, a frightful racket was heard, and some force entered the room where the Johnsons were sleeping. After this, Johnson insisted that Bell should call in other friends and neighbors to help solve the mystery. Locals came to the Bell farmhouse to try and communicate with the so-called specter. Eventually, it began to speak back, not merely communicating in knocks and raps, but in true speech, taking on the voice of James Johnson and reciting prayers and devotional songs. The entity, known as the Bell Witch, behaved cordially to most but nurtured a dark side, often declaring its abhorrence for John Bell and vowing to end his life. The Bell Witch's infamy continued to grow, attracting the attention of General and future President Andrew Jackson. It is said that he visited the house with a witch layer and an exorcist to cleanse the family of the foul spirit. The entity responded to questions and even claimed to be the spirit of Kate Betts's witch, vowing to haunt John Bell. People began to call the specter Kate or the Bell Witch. The suspicion of witchcraft hung heavily over Kate Betts, who was still alive at the time and vehemently denied being a witch. The spirit not only tormented John Bell, but paid particular attention to his daughter Betsy. The entity seemed to single out Betsy for torment and mischief, making her a primary target of its otherworldly activities. Betsy Bell, who was engaged to a young man named Joshua Gardner, faced significant opposition from the spirit. The entity reportedly objected vehemently to Betsy's engagement, disrupting the relationship and causing distress within the Bell family. It is said that the spirit went to great lengths to interfere with Betsy's personal life, creating obstacles and strife in her romantic endeavors. The entity claimed different identities. The entity's origin varied, from a spirit seemingly omnipresent to a wealthy immigrant, rumored to have buried treasure on the Bell's property. It purportedly displayed amiable behavior on occasion, singing hymns and expressing religious devotion. However, it also openly proclaimed its animosity towards John Bell and avowed its intention to bring about his demise. The legend continued for 3 years until the entity seemingly made good on its promise to terrorize John Bell to death. After a severe illness, John Bell passed away, and the spirit claimed to have been poisoning him. The phenomena died down after John's death and centered around Betsy until she complied and dropped her engagement to Joshua Gardner. The Bell Witch didn't stop after John Bell's death. Nope, the family said they were still cursed. This weird tale got passed down through generations, with Bell family members feeling haunted. Even though they do not own the farm anymore, the spooky vibes linger, and the curse seems to have a long-lasting impact on the family. The origin and nature of the entity have been subject of speculation and dispute. The legend of the Bell Witch endures, attracting tourists to the cave associated with the spirit. Despite skepticism and cynicism, the strange events that took place on the Bell farm 2 centuries ago remain enigmatic, with countless witnesses and testimonies shaping a legend that continues to captivate to this day. Now, the farm may have changed hands, but the heart of the haunting still beats in the Bell Witch Cave. Close to the old farm, this underground cave is like a magnet for spooky stuff. People talk about hearing whispers, feeling sudden chills, and even seeing shadowy figures that can't be explained. This cave has become a must-visit for those wanting a close encounter with the supernatural. People come from all over, curious to see if the stories are true. The Bell Witch Cave is indeed associated with the infamous Bell Witch legend. While there is information about the cave, it's essential to note that the cave itself is not the primary setting for the events of the Bell Witch haunting. The activities mainly unfolded in and around the Bell family home. As for Andrew Jackson, there is a historical claim that he visited the Bell Witch area during the early 19th century. Legend has it that Jackson, who would later become the 7th President of the United States, heard about the Bell Witch and decided to investigate. It is recounted that he, accompanied by his group, stayed a night at the Bell residence to witness the unusual happenings. Certain narratives propose that the spirit engaged with Jackson, and the president is rumored to have exclaimed, "I'd prefer to battle the British in New Orleans than contend with the Bell Witch." However, the historical accuracy of Andrew Jackson's visit is debated among scholars and historians. Some question the authenticity of the claim, as there is limited concrete evidence to support the president's direct involvement in the Bell Witch events. As for the cave itself, it is now a popular tourist attraction, and guided tours are available. The cave, while connected to the legend, serves more as a backdrop to the story rather than the central location of the paranormal activities. Visitors to the cave can explore the area and learn more about the folklore that has surrounded it for nearly 2 centuries. Even after all these years, the Bell Witch Cave hasn't lost its spooky touch. People still report weird things happening when they visit, strange shapes, odd sounds, and an overall eerie feeling. The cave has become a hotspot for ghost hunters and thrill seekers, all trying to figure out what's happening in this mysterious place. With a story as peculiar as the Bell Witch Cave, everyone has their theories about what's truly unfolding. Some believe it's residual energy from the past, lingering and causing trouble for those in its midst. They argue that historical events might be replaying in an otherworldly loop, influencing the present. On the other hand, there's a faction that attributes the disturbances to supernatural entities seeking retribution against the Bells. The idea is that some mystical force or beings are expressing their discontent or fulfilling a cosmic justice. Conversely, skeptics argue that it's all a product of the human mind. Psychological phenomena giving rise to eerie experiences. They suggest that the power of suggestion and shared beliefs could be shaping the events, creating a collective narrative that takes on a life of its own. Then some dismiss the entire narrative as a collection of fabricated stories. They see the mystery of the Bell Witch Cave as a series of tall tales, possibly fueled by a mix of imagination, folklore, and a desire for attention. The enduring enigma of the Bell Witch Cave ensures that people continue to speculate, discuss, and debate. The lack of a conclusive explanation keeps the mystery alive, making it a captivating subject for ongoing conversations and contemplation. The Bell Witch Cave isn't just a cave, it's a living piece of a spooky story from America's past. Whether you think it's all real or just a tall tale, the cave keeps drawing people in, inviting them to explore the strange and unexplained. As you explore the dim recesses, the resonances of history might stir your curiosity. Is there an authentic paranormal essence within the Bell Witch Cave, or is it merely a play of the mind? The enigma endures, drawing in the inquisitive, the courageous, and the haunted who converge to unveil the concealed secrets within its shadows. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Until next time, stay cautious and remain vigilant.